Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back to Emmy's Elysian ASMR. I'm so happy that you're here. And today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I'm going to be talking to you about the Oscars and some of my thoughts and some of the films that I have loved from 2021. So I also have an assortment of books for you that I'm going to be tapping and scratching on while I talk to you. And I really hope that you enjoy. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, let's get right into it. My 7th favorite film of 2021 is apparently somewhat controversial. It is nominated for an Academy Award for Best Picture, and it is Guillermo del Toro's Nightmare Alley. I thought this was a really beautiful film. It was a bit slow, and for some, I feel like they thought the ending was a bit expected. But for me, I just found the characters' journeys incredibly compelling. The costumes were gorgeous, the sets were gorgeous, and as usual, Guillermo del Toro just has this way of sucking you into another world and creating this feeling of being held and cocooned in this kind of surreal, bizarre, terrifying, but also intriguing place. So I just love his films in general, and Nightmare Alley was no exception for me. So I give Nightmare Alley a solid 8 out of 10 stars, 8.5 out of 10. And if we're doing it out of 5, I would give it 4 out of 5. I thought it was a really good movie, and I was just impressed with everything from the performances to the story to the way that he moved the camera and everything. So that's my 7th favorite film of 2021. I'm going to keep going on this book for a bit. I have a few more to show you. We didn't get this Sundance book until this year. We got it late, so we didn't actually get it for the film festival last year, though we watched, I think, like 15 films from last year. It was crazy. Okay, now on to my 6th favorite film of the year of 2021. It was Dune. Dune, I thought, was an incredible film. I was completely blown away. It was so entertaining. I think for some people, if you have no familiarity with the book, it can be a bit of a challenge. I actually was unable to finish the book. I got to page 100 and I could not finish reading it. That's not to say it wasn't good or impressive. It was. It just was not my taste, but it did help me tremendously going into the film. I feel like I was able to follow it so much better because I generally knew what was going on, and I just thought it was an absolutely remarkable film. Like, I don't know how one makes a movie of that scale with so much, special effects, but still manages to feel real. Like, that is wildly impressive to me. And it was directed by the French director Denis Villeneuve, and he is an incredible director as well, of course. I mean, all these directors are. So I just absolutely love Dune. I thought it was mesmerizing. The visuals were striking in the theater. And I give it, an 8.5 out of 10 or 4 out of 5 stars. I also enjoy a good fantasy or science fiction movie or book when it's in my particular taste, I guess. Like I love Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter and all that good stuff. So that was my 6th favorite film. Now on to my 5th. So I should have said this at the beginning, but I said I was going to do a Sundance review. I clearly have not done that yet, and I'm basically doing an Oscar review instead. I hope that's okay. I guess I will say one thing about the Sundance films. It is that Living with Bill Nighy was my favorite film of Sundance. I actually give it a 10 out of 10. I think it was a near perfect film. I cried extremely hard. And please, if you have a chance to see Living, please do. It was a beautiful, near perfect film. Okay. A little shout out to Phantom Thread. Really good movie, but I'm not here to talk about Phantom Thread. Okay. My 5th favorite film of 2021 was The Green Knight. The Green Knight. The Green Knight was directed by David Lowery, who is a wonderful creative director, and I loved this film. It was so strange and beautiful and compelling. I just loved it, and I'm bummed it did not get nominated for an Oscar. There's a few films that I would have personally nominated if I had a say in such things, and The Green Knight would have been one of them. Actually, almost half of the films that I personally think are the best films of 2021 are not nominated for Best Picture. And I feel like that's somewhat normal for the Oscars, but what are you gonna do? So yeah, The Green Knight I thought was stunning, and the performances were beautiful. It was really just a well done film. A24 in general, I feel like, does a really nice job making movies. They're easy to tease sometimes, but they really do really incredible films. Daniel Day-Lewis. So I give The Green Knight similarly a 8.5 out of 10. Now on to my 4th favorite film of 2021, which I personally believe should have been nominated for an Oscar, and I'm actually quite peeved that it was not. And that film is The Tragedy of Macbeth, directed by Joel Cohen, starring Denzel Washington and Frances McDormand. I thought this film was incredible. It was the best adaptation of Macbeth I have seen on film. I give this one a solid 9 out of 10. It was stunning, from the lighting to the performances to the costumes, just the way it was put together, like completely blew my mind filmmaking wise. I was a theater major in college, and the lighting reminded me of this lighting designer who in academic circles is known as the father of lighting design. His name's Adolphe Appia, and I remember studying him in college, and he has beautiful sketches about lighting on stage, and I feel like a lot of his designs were implemented in this film with shadow and light and where the actors are standing in relationship to those things. One of the shots that really stuck out to me was the shot of Denzel Washington when he's in his tent and he's contemplating war, and there's a shadow of a thorny bush behind him, and I just wanted to cry because it was just perfection. Denzel's performance was just, he's just one of the greats. It was incredible. So that's my number 4. That film, I really cannot say enough good things about it. It was wild. It was perfect. I might even give it a 9.5 out of 10. It was just really, really well made film. Goodbye, Phantom Thread. This is an awesome book. I have not read all of it, but I've read some of it, and it's wonderful. Elia Kazan is an incredible director. Of course. Okay. Now, this one's a little strange that it's on my list because I was unable to finish watching it in theaters. I had COVID and I got a really bad ear infection, and I had like really bad neck pain on the side of my neck. Thankfully, I was boosted, so it didn't last very long, but for a few days, it was quite uncomfortable, and I went to go see this film in theaters when I was still recovering, so my neck was a little bit sore, and we had really terrible seats, and I actually had to get up during the film because my neck was bothering me so much. But that's not to say that the film wasn't absolutely stunning. And that film is Drive My Car. From what I saw, it was an incredible film. Beautiful, personal, delicate, honest. Just really, really a stunning film. So that's on my list as the number 3. It's weird because I didn't finish it, but I could still tell that it was going to be a really stunning film. And I will go back and watch it again. And I'm looking forward to that experience when I'm comfortable and my neck is no longer in pain. But I think I would rank it as my 3rd favorite film, or the 3rd best film of 2021. So a little bit of a segue story time. My grandfather was a film production manager and producer, and this is one of his old binders, and I absolutely love it. So I thought this would be nice to include. So my second favorite film of 2021. It's a film that I am very, very sad it did not get nominated for Best Picture. I think it's a real shame. And that film is Passing, directed by Rebecca Hall, starring Tessa Thompson, Ruth Negga, Alexander Skarsgård, and Andre Holland. I thought this film was everything. I thought it was so good. I think it was I almost want to give it a 10 out of 10, but I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. It was just so subtle and important and relevant and beautiful, and I'm really bummed it didn't get nominated for an Academy Award, because I really think that it deserved that. The level of sensitivity and collaboration I feel went into that film. I mean, I don't know for sure, I wasn't involved with making it, but just the way when I saw interviews and the way everyone spoke about it, it just felt like such an intentional, thoughtful film. And not all films are like that. They're just not. Every film has its own environment and its own energy, and that film felt really, it felt really special. And the performances were absolutely stunning. So that was one that I wish had been nominated. Okay, well, some construction work has clearly started and is incredibly loud, so I hope that it's not too distracting for you and that you're still able to receive those tingles and enjoy this video. So my favorite film of 2021 was Licorice Pizza, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. I just love the playful energy of the film. He's just such an observant and incredible director. And I was just moved to pieces. I'm obsessed with the soundtrack. I listen to it all the time. And I just love this film. Was it his best movie, Paul Thomas Anderson? No. But can he make a bad movie? No. It was still incredible. And I just found it so delightful and enjoyable. And I give it a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. Just from my personal enjoyment. It's weird. It's like Passing, I think, is a better film. Just the way it was made, it might be the best film of 2021 in my opinion. But I just enjoyed Licorice Pizza so much that it's my personal number one. But you could say lots of things about me because of that, I'm sure. It's scary sharing your opinion on the interwebs, but that's, how I felt. It was so, just simply enjoyable and very light. And sometimes you just want to go to the theater and see something light. So that's it. To recap, my 7 favorite films of 2021, 4 of them are nominated for Best Picture. So that should give you some indication of the Oscars. The Oscars are great. We love the Oscars. Oh, but speaking of the Oscars, what they have done about not broadcasting certain categories is definitely obnoxious and strange, and it really, I believe, dampens their credibility as an award show and organization. To not have editing included is just completely bewildering to me. The edit can almost be a second script or a third version of the script. It's that foundational. So to not include it is just so bizarre. And honestly, the Oscars really only matter to industry people like myself. Occasionally you get, art fans or celebrity fans who will tune in, but the idea that the Oscars are ever going to be this huge thing again is, I don't know. I just feel like we're moving into a new era where the quality of films is going to matter more than star power. And I might be, there's good things and bad things about that. I might be wrong, but that's what I think, the industry is moving in that direction. And I just love making films, being in films. I'm directing a short film right now, and I'm incredibly proud of everybody who is involved, and I cannot wait to share it with the world. Right now we are about to go into the sound mix, which will be challenging, but good. It'll be fun. It's all fun. Because it's all about making the best version of this story that we can and doing justice to everyone involved in all of the hard work everybody has put in. And I have one more book I want to share with you. It's this Dolly and film book. Haven't actually read it, but it looks very cool. I've seen some of Dolly's films and they're quite something. They're quite terrifying. But certainly innovative and experimental. Probably shouldn't have spent so much time on the first book, but that's okay. I could ramble about filmmaking for a very long time because I spend so much time thinking about it and learning about it and talking about it and everything like that. That is all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to my rambles about film and the Oscars and a little bit of Sundance. And I hope that you enjoyed and that you did, in fact, get yourself some tingles. Am I right? We all love those tingles. And I hope the background noise wasn't too much for you. I'm glad I did soft-spoken today so that the background noise wasn't too obvious, at least when I'm speaking. All right. Bye-bye.